tuning in for another episode of RV Business on the Road. I'm your host, Niki, and today I am at Aspen Campground where I'll be staying and also sitting down to chat with the owners. So I am sitting here at Aspen Campground do you want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Sydney.
I'm Doug.
Amanda.
Awesome, and you are the owners of this campground, correct?
Manager owners.
Awesome, awesome. So tell us a little background of how you got started in owning a campground.
So a part of it, I guess, to go back a little bit, we've always been avid campers. Started off tent camping long time ago. Got a slide-in truck camper, pop-up, and then we graduated to an RV. So we've always done family camping trips and vacations and everything like that. And my wife and I would talk about, you know, when we stayed at campgrounds, hey, would this be kind of cool to own or not, or drawbacks and all of that. So we kind of started that way. And then I've been an investor in real estate for a while and always looking at online for different things and found this campground. And once I found it, I kind of ignored it for a while, then decided to drive up and see it. And once I saw it, then it was like, okay, how do we make this work?
Awesome. So then you jumped all in, right?
Yep. All in.
All in. It's a lot of work running a campground. I've come to learn. So what's been a big thing for you, or how long have you owned the campground actually?
So we're going on our 3rd year of ownership.
Okay.
2nd year of being open.
Okay. So right in the middle of COVID.
COVID we opened it right in the middle of COVID.
Okay, yeah. So how is that?
So actually for our 1st year, opening in COVID was not that bad. We kept things closed, like our bathhouse wasn't open originally. Our rec room stayed closed all year last year, and we had no tent camping. So when we opened, you had to be self-contained.
Yeah. COVID
in a way was a blessing for a campground to open at first, because people were searching for ways to get outside and to use their RV.
Yeah.
So it worked out. I think it worked out to our benefit.
I know as a full-timer, I just started, traveling and being full-time in my RV, but I heard it was an issue for some to find campgrounds to stay because everything was closed down, but yet, they live in it. So they don't have a bricks and sticks area. So I would imagine did you have any full-timers here during that time?
So coming from an apartment background, I have made this campground so that we don't have long-term campers.
Okay.
Our longest reservation is 2 weeks, 14 days. Now you can make several 2-week reservations, but we don't have seasonal campers.
Okay. So when you purchased, was it an existing, or is it just the land that was here?
No, it was existing. It's pretty much this way. We had to come in and start to take it back from nature. Things were getting overgrown, different things. Had to get to know it. That's why we didn't open it the very 1st year. Because when we bought, we should have opened right away, but I was not going to open a campground I knew nothing about.
Right.
So we took a year to get to know it. We had a couple of family type events up here to test the waters, get to know things and all of that, and then opened last year in the middle of May.
Awesome. There's a lot, right? That's a lot going on. What was your biggest challenge with, getting set up and on the ground? Did you discover any big issues?
The park itself was pretty good. It was just getting the infrastructure set up and taking over a business that wasn't running. So it wasn't like we bought from an existing owner, took over their processes,
right,
and ran with it. We had to create all that stuff. We had to find an online booking platform, implement our own procedures, and create the wheel again, basically.
Right.
So we've had to go through stuff, stick to our rules and the way we want it to be, and kind of weed out the riffraff in a way, right?
Yeah.
And make it the park that we want it to be, not the park that previous customers want it to be.
I guess what's the vibe that you want here? Like what do you want your customers to leave when they leave the campground?
I like it when they appreciate the beauty of just the environment in general and the area, and not necessarily try and take advantage of it, but just be in it and appreciate what it is.
Right.
And not try and make it something, so you're from the city, you're not going to be camping in the city. you want to be out in nature and enjoy it in a way that's not compromising it, like our fire rules and everything else, is to preserve everything that's here.
Right, and you have black bears here. That was like my big scare coming in, right? Because I've been places where I know that they're here, but knowing yesterday I was talking my dog for a walk and knowing that there was bear, and I'm like, okay, we got to get back. Let's go, because it's dark, right? But it's also a beautiful thing because you want to be one with nature, and I love that. I think a lot of campers really love and respect that too.
I feel like the vibe up here is pretty great, actually. Almost everybody that comes in is pretty respectful and chill and patient and kind. Occasionally, as with all businesses, you have the few people that cause problems. But, I mean, again, you'll find that everywhere that you go. But
right.
The vibe up here, everybody seems to really enjoy it.
Yeah, I have, and everyone was really friendly. Everyone waved and said hi, and it's not always like that. So
Right.
you have created this really great atmosphere here.
And we try to keep it rustic, because if you noticed, all of our roads are dirt. We have no paved paths,
Yep.
right? But you get to camp in the trees, right? It is a little challenging because we are on the side of a mountain, so not all the sites are the same, and it's harder to back up into some sites than others. But the challenges of this campground are also what make this campground unique and special too. So it's kind of a good balance of all.
Yeah, it's great. So what would you say, some advice for anyone looking to buy a campground, and some tips that maybe you'd be able to give them?
Well, it's not as easy as it looks from the outside, is it?
It's really not. Takes a lot of daily effort. And what I enjoy the most is just talking to people.
Yeah.
And that's my job, really. And the more you learn about talking to people and their experiences with other campgrounds when they come here, what they enjoy, what they have suggestions on, is really what I think are the things you need to listen to. And you're not going to know right away. It's taken us 2 years to get to this point, and we still have more to do.
And not having a background in a campground, I mean, you don't know what you don't know until you don't know it.
Right.
Right? Or until it comes up and then you're trying to figure out this stuff.
Right.
So on some of it, it's really hard to foresee some of the things that are going to have to happen and to know what you have to deal with. And this being an older campground, it was not meant for RVs that are the size that they are today.
Yeah.
So that's really been our biggest challenge, is trying to accommodate these RVs that keep getting bigger and bigger when the sites were built for RVs of the early 90s.
Awesome. So how much property here?
Just shy of 30 acres.
Okay. So there is room to grow and expand a little bit.
A lot of the property is up the hill and to the back. So a lot of that is really unusable for the RV park, but it's nice to have because we have nature trails that go through the back of the property and things to go hike on and stuff like that.
It's a huge bonus.
Right.
That's not always the case, right? Sometimes you're at RV parks and campgrounds where you're jammed in, and then you have to drive to get places.
Yeah, you have to travel like crazy, and that's another thing that's nice about this location is within 10 miles round bubble, a 10-mile bubble around the property, there's a lot of stuff they can go do. There's the lake, they can go do the hike around the lake. There's these here that he told you about. There's Bishop's Castle up the road. So, yeah.
So on the property you have RV spots, you have cabins, and you also have teepees. What are they called?
Well, we have outfitter tents, and we also
Outfitter.
have some just tent camping sites.
Okay.
So if you are a tent camper and wanted to come in, set up your tent, do all of that, our tent sites are in the trees. They're different than a lot of other tent sites and other campgrounds. And then you still have the use of the facilities, the bathhouse, all of that other stuff.
So you're on CampSpot. Is there any other, do you market at any other places or offer discounts for these other membership programs?
So CampSpot's been awesome. They have CampSpot Marketplace too, which they market for us on that part. We do a lot of Google ads, and we hire a firm to do those, and then we also do a lot of Facebook marketing.
Okay, very cool. There are, different programs. Reason I asked, for discount programs and stuff. So it's good to know for those that actually are part of that. It's like, you can still, it's a great rate here without that. In Colorado, it's very expensive for campgrounds, and this is reasonable. This is right on Hartford.
If I am correct, you offer the veterans
We do
discount
offer
as well.
veterans and senior citizens.
Do you stay open all year round? What's your season?
Our season is basically the middle of May to just after Halloween.
Okay. What's your favorite part about owning a campground?
Look around. Right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
amazing
The setting.
here.
Yeah.
Being from the city and then going to school in the city, living my whole life in the city, and then coming here in the summers is just so much nicer. And it's a nice place to relax while you're still working every day, but it's just the scenery. It's hard to get up and be mad. Like you're never in a bad mood. You know, you're always wanting to be outside, and it's a gorgeous place to work and be. And then the types of people that come here to enjoy that scenery and everything else. I love talking to everyone and hearing their stories, you know, how long they've been in their RVs for, or just, you know, a weekend stay or wherever they're coming from. And the different experiences they've had is what I enjoy talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, we get to work from home.
Right.
I have a 30-second commute
no
from my
commute.
house to work.
Oh, how great is that? Well, thank you so much for
Yeah,
sitting
thank
down
you.
and, you know, come check it out here. It's a beautiful space. They'd love to have you.
Yeah.
Aspen Acres, yay.
Yay.